This is Chrissy Cooking at Home, and I am Chrissy. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, I like to do cooking at home as much as possible. We do eat out on occasion for treats. I like to do from scratch. I have a very long history of cooking professionally and at home. Currently, if you saw any of my other videos, I just had a baby. She is quite fussy right now. 6:30 in the morning. She's been up since about 2. Fussy butts. You know, newborn. She's quite the talker too. So today I want to can some beef that I got from Sam's Club on markdown. It's about almost 6 pounds. It's 5.99 pounds. And I got it for 20 bucks. And it's, I don't remember what cut it was, but it's huge. And it's going to make several meals. I'm going to save some of it for making some French dip sandwiches. Boop, 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 boop. If you didn't see my previous video, this is Miss Nellie, named after my great-grandmother who got me into baking at a very young age. She passed away when I was 22, so she lived a very long life. Oh, good burping. We just had a little bit of milk, so we're walking around. Not milk, but formula. So I got my jars ready. I washed them. I washed my lids. I washed my rings. I washed my pressure canner. I have water in my pressure canner ready to go because we're going to be doing this everything from room temp. So I'm not preheating the water in the pressure canner. So it's just plain beef. So that way I can do different things with it. I'm going to do it in pint jars. Sometimes I only need a pint. Sometimes I need a quart, but it's better for us to just have pint jars, and I'll just can all pints. I'm hoping to get at least 4 pints after I cut off a hunk for our French dip sandwiches that I do in a pressure cooker, which I think will be tomorrow's dinner. Logan wanted Alfredo with some grilled chicken and broccoli, so that's what we'll have today. I already did a video on my Alfredo sauce. It's a very common recipe. A lot of people do it that way. If you don't do it that way, if you've never made homemade Alfredo, it's easy. It just takes a little more time than opening a jar. That's all. And it's so much better. It tastes so much better. And being on bed rest with little Miss Nellie here, we really missed my homemade Alfredo sauce because we were using jar, and I was not happy. I missed my homemade. It tastes so much better. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. Let's can some beef. So it'll be just a second for you, but I'll see you in a few hours. Well, I didn't bring you along for the canning of the beef. I had also decided to can some chicken breasts, free up some room in my freezer. And I bought a package for unknown reasons, just like I bought 3 pounds of ground beef for unknown reasons, because I planned my menus. Currently my menus are planned until the beginning of August. That way, saves money. You are right next to the baby monitor, the audio one. We also have a camera. She's fussy. So, chicken. So I'm washing the jars today because I did it yesterday. Maybe if I can get it open. Not really open, but get the ring off. This is halfway off and it jams. Alright, let's see if that popped. It did not. What's up with this ring? Oh, combination ring and jar, I guess. I'm still new at this. We got some beef. Now I did some with beef and onion and garlic. She's completely asleep. she's fussy in her sleep. When she starts screaming, I know she's awake. Now, the ones, the beef with the onion and the garlic, I used my garlic press and I pressed a clove of garlic into each one, is for French dip sandwiches. Because I was just going to take the beef, put it in a pressure canner, not canner, cooker with onion and garlic, and use it for French dip sandwiches. I thought, why am I going to do that? I'm pressure canning the rest of the beef. Why not just pressure can the beef with the onion and the garlic, and then, you know, like, open the jar when we're ready for French dip sandwiches. Oh, Lord, have I missed canning and cooking. Because yesterday I also made my Alfredo sauce that I showed you in another video. Alright. So I made some homemade Alfredo and I grilled up some thin cut chicken I had. Let's put some towels down, shall we? Because the dish drainer is full. I just did the dishes from yesterday. It is 5:30 in the morning. Sweetheart was up all night with little Miss Nellie. Bubby was up too because he's on a weird sleeping pattern. But that's him. Anyways, I don't do the dishes at the end of the evening. I do them throughout the day, and then whatever's left from dinner or even lunch, I will leave for the next morning, because I had a great aunt tell me when Logan was just 8 months old that don't be so obsessed with cleaning when you have little ones. If they can wait till tomorrow, do the dishes tomorrow. Mop tomorrow. Spend more time with your little ones. Because she said she wished she had. Now, this is a woman that was in her 70s at the time and has since passed, because that was 12 years ago. And, you know, I took that to heart. She was the sister of my favorite grandma. You know, we all have our favorites. Try to say we don't, but we do. My favorite grandma. The one that Nellie's middle name is from, that grandma. It was her sister, and I saw them after my grandma had passed. She passed when I was pregnant with Logan, and I couldn't get out to Ohio for her services, so it really bummed me. But I digress. So I put off dishes. I throw in laundry here and there, and if I do throw it in the washer, I do not let it sit for very long because it always gets that smell in the warmer months. I can let it sit if it's like January, February, or colder months. Even March. Sometimes April. Like last year, we had a massive snowstorm in the middle of April. and we lost power for 4 or 5 days. It was a really heavy, wet snow. It melted really quickly, but it did a lot of damage really quickly. Beautiful. So this one is straight beef. And cleaned and dried and labeled. And I'm excited to see if adding the garlic and the onion to the beef pressure can made it taste as wonderful as it does when I pressure cook it for our sandwiches. I digress. I'm sure you hear my old canner going, and you no longer hear Nellie. She's completely asleep. She's a talker. She's a fusser. She will talk while eating. She will talk and fuss while dreaming and sleeping. And the only time she's really quiet is when she's watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. And yeah, my 5-week-old baby is watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and she knows in her sleep if you have changed it, if you have turned it off, put on something else more entertaining as an adult. She knows. And she wakes up and she screams at you. She's not much of a crier. She's more of a fusser and then a screamer. And she has her daddy's temper. But now I'm just cleaning the rings. I mean, I'll clean them again when it's time to use them again, but why leave them with food particles on them, really? At the sink, I'm washing dishes, I'm washing jars. So today I'm going to be making my 1-hour cinnamon rolls. I already have a video on that. It's like one of my first videos, and it's the entire hour. You can fast forward if you want. I'm going to look and see if I put the actual recipe in the description box. If not, I'm going to try to edit that to put the actual recipe in the description box. But 1-hour cinnamon rolls. I'm going to make some Amish sandwich bread. I'm doing like a care package for a neighbor that helped us when one of our cats slipped through the door and we didn't realize it. And he's not exactly a smart cat. He's our very special kitty. I gotta get more labels. Didn't bother for a while because, you know, been on bed rest for 7 months. Nearly 7 months. Let those air dry. And then I'm going to put together this care package for this lady who I did not know lived right down the road. I mean, I don't know, like 7 houses down. Did not know. Oh, I posted on the Facebook that I rarely get on that he was missing. To keep an eye out for him. Please bring him home. He is like Logan's support animal. Whenever Logan's blood sugar is high or low, he's right there. He also sleeps on him. Follows him around the house. They play chase. He chases Magma the cat. Magma the cat chases Logan. It's the cutest thing. I've never seen a cat do that before. So she helped us bring him home. and I want to put together a nice little care package for her. I'll show you what I have so far. I'm gonna give her a jar of the chicken. So chicken, and I put the rings on for her. Some sliced potatoes, my homemade pickles, my maple cinnamon glazed carrots. This is my last jar. Some of my experimental zesty chunky mustard. Some of my wonderful spicy pickled grapes. Some of my wonderful pickled beets. And some of my lemon balm jelly. I could give her more jelly, but she's diabetic like Logan. She's type 1. And I don't want to overload her with sugar because I got the jelly in here for her. I've also got the beets have sugar, the carrots, of course, lots of sugar, and then the spicy pickled grapes. These are sweet and spicy, so there's sugar in it. And then I just put it in a ramen box. Did you hear her? I have the audio monitor right next to you. The audio. So I'm going to give her a loaf of bread that I'm making, and I'm going to give her some cinnamon rolls. It's just her. She lives by herself, so I don't want to overwhelm her with too much that's going to go bad on her. She's a very sweet lady. She, after we got Magma home, she came over and spent the evening just, chit-chatting with us, getting to know us, and we got to know her. She's just one of those, she clicked with us really well. She was just one of the types of people that you could talk to for hours about anything. So, I'm sorry I did not bring you along for the canning. There's many canning videos out there. I didn't bring you along for the Alfredo sauce. I already have a video for that on there, on here on the YouTubes. Now I need to get back to clean. I gotta sterilize Nellie's bottles and get started on the bread. Now I can bring you along for the bread, but it's not my recipe. I'll link the recipe if I bring you along. I might forget. Not that I forget you, it's just I get busy and my brain just, postpartum brain just on top of my neurological issues. It's fun. Alright, till next time. Well, I still haven't gotten dressed yet, but I want to get this bread going. I've got my oven on proof, bread proof. It's a lovely feature. I absolutely adore it. It reminds me of when I worked in a bakery early in my culinary career that I left pretty quickly. Just wasn't for me. The stress, the heat, the screaming. Yeah, no. And the washer's done. So, I'm probably going to butcher this because it's been a while, but this recipe for sandwich bread comes from that 1870's Homestead. Pretty sure that's the right year. I will link it. They are awesome. I love watching them. Now, when I was pregnant and on bed rest, I didn't watch anybody's videos except for crocheting because I knew it would make me want to get up and cook and bake and can, and I had to be on bed rest. If I didn't, I could have lost Nellie, and I just couldn't lose another child. So did what I had to do, and I crocheted things for her, many things. So the recipe goes 1 tablespoon of yeast, 2/3 cup water, or 2/3 cup sugar, not water, 2 cups warm water, 1/4 cup vegetable oil, 3/4 teaspoon salt, and 6 to 8 cups of flour. It's a huge variance, but it also just really depends on the humidity at the time that you're making and where you are in the country. Like I'm in upstate New York. It can get humid. Not as humid as, say, the Midwest where I'm from or the South, but it can get there. Whereas, you know, out west, like Arizona, it's dry. It's not humid, it's dry. California, Southern California can be really dry. So you might only need like 6 cups of flour, whereas the southern people, the Midwestern people might need 8, maybe more, depending on the time of year, what the humidity level is. Humidity plays a huge factor in everything you cook, bake, or candy making, or, you know, it plays a huge role. So, we're going to get started here. Let's see, it says, put the yeast in the bottom of the bowl. Okay. This is the yeast. I will try to remember to share a link. This is the only yeast I use. I keep it in the fridge in this jar. That way it stays dormant. Then I'll go back in the fridge. Alright, so then it says sprinkle sugar on top. That's fine. That was just the lid to the flour container. I need new containers. I just, once again, things I was going to get put on hold because I got pregnant with our little surprise blessing. So things can wait to make sure she and her brother have what they need. Alright, so done with that measuring cup, 2/3 cup sugar. Then pour water on top. Oops. Knock on cookbook dummy. Do not stir. So we need 2 cups of water. And I get 1 for the dishes and wash my canning jars. Oh, by the way, I got 8 jars of beef and 7 jars of chicken. So almost a full canner load. I was very happy. I like full canner loads. I don't know why. Okay, 2 cups of water. Now that's just water and what I would have rinsed it with. So we're done with the sugar. This is so beat up. Put it there, put it there, put it there. And then I got out my bench scraper just in case. It's been a long time since I've baked bread, so I'm very excited about this. You know, I need to get out. I'm going to measure my oil now. And that's measuring at 1/3. So let's halfway between 1/4 and 1/3. Bingo! I have Bob's Burgers playing in the background. I can smell the yeast already. 5 minutes. So we've been talking for a minute. And need a paddle attachment first, and I have the dough hook, so paddle. Do you remember my beast? Remember from other videos? If you've watched me do any of my baking. She is my KitchenAid 600 series in stainless steel color. There is our stuff. Ta-da. I'm really not a good cameraman yet. I'm still working on it. But, you know, who says a 40-year-old woman can't learn new tricks? I'll figure it out, especially when I get a camera. So then it says, add when it comes to the dough hook on my stand mixer, any stand mixer, never go above the lowest setting or you will burn your motor out. That includes the fabulous KitchenAid. I did it when I was younger, a stupid girl, and I had a friend who did it, and she didn't know to not do that. I did it because at the bakery, we have those big industrial mixers, the ones that are almost as tall as me. I'm 5'5". And when we got the flour mixed in, to knead it, we would turn it up on high and just let it go nuts. Don't do that with your home mixer. Keep it on low, knead it for the 10 minutes, on low. So I just add my 6th cup. Coming together. Sometimes I will crank it up to the next setting, just real quick, just like a few seconds, and then back down. Okay, it's looking a little sticky still, so I'm going to go ahead and measure up 1 more cup of flour. This will be number 7. Look at myself here. Rinse my fingers off. continue adding flour a half a cup at a time. I just threw in a cup, not reading the directions. Until dough comes together and is pulling away from the sides of the bowl, but not climbing the dough hook. If you start seeing that dough going up, add more flour. If you need to, stop the mixer. Let this go for 5 minutes instead of normal time. And it's going to need, and we'll do that. Alright, 5 minutes is up. I don't know if you can hear. I still have the baby monitor over where you were originally. Nice, smooth, elastic dough. Coffee pot out of the way. There we go. I put some flour down. It's so warm that I actually really miss a mohawk right now. But I'm still growing it out. I have not given up and shaved it. Why? Because my curly hair is so beautiful and I love it. Other people love it too, but that's not doing it for them. That feels like too much flour. It's not sticky at all. So I don't feel any air bubbles. I don't make the prettiest loaves like I used to when I worked in the bakery. I just try to make them even. Now in her video, she used a rolling pin, rolled it out, and then rolled it up, jelly roll style. It's just too much work for me. Okay, so I greased. Not really greased. It's not really grease anymore. I sprayed 2 loaf pans that I found of my, I don't know, like 8 with nonstick spray. And then I take the hunk of dough here, pop it in, and push it in to fit my loaf pan. So I found my glass ones. Alright, so now my oven's on proof. Well, Miss Nellie woke up. She was wet. And she's hungry. Little Miss 5-weeker here. She's a hungry girl. Okay, so but the bread I had to get 2 minutes early. It looks okay. It sounded hollow. So hopefully all goes well. So I'm gonna feed her and then finish the cinnamon rolls I started. So, but that's it. Wasn't gonna show you the cinnamon rolls because I have a video on that. It was my very first cooking video. And this video is running a little long. So it's time to feed Miss Nellie because I got her changed, dry clothes on, fresh cloth diaper. I gotta pack more diapers with their inserts. So Miss Nellie and I are gonna have her ba. Until next time. Thanks, guys.